Today's Guthli Talk episode does not seem like a normal Guthli Talk episode because I feel like I'm dreaming. So it's quite bizarre for me because I am joined by the Pandey brothers. So, sir, let's start with your Guthli days.
Advertising, the course of advertising is actually on for you from the age of 3. If you keep your eyes and ears open,
Definitely.
you are actually learning a lot of advertising skills.
My biggest asset is I'm a good observer. Nothing that we do is original. There is nothing called original.
If you are engaging,
Yeah.
your attention span will never be small. Simple is not simplistic. Simple is easy to enjoy.
Advertising needs good creative minds.
If you are excited and you automatically become young at heart, or you are young at heart, then this field is open to you.
Today's Guthli Talk episode does not seem like a normal Guthli Talk episode because I feel like I'm dreaming. So it's quite bizarre for me because I am joined by the Pandey brothers, Mr. Prasoon Pandey as well as the great Piyush Pandey. Can you pinch me? This is totally insane for me that I've got both of you together. So I don't want to waste either of your time. We'll just get straight into it. Guthli Talks is watched by a lot of youngsters who are into advertising, who are trying to get into advertising, or people who have absolutely no clue what advertising is. And you guys are the best faces of advertising to introduce what advertising is to the world. So, sir, let's start with your journey, or as we call it, your Guthli days, your initial period. Could you guys take us down?
If you look at it, nor did we know about advertising. In fact, he got to know about it earlier than me because he went to the design school.
Okay.
I had no clue at all that is advertising a profession or not a profession.
Right.
I had no clue till I was 27 plus.
Uh-huh.
So the youngsters today are in a position where they know that it is a profession. It can go into courses where you can learn something. However, having said that, advertising, the course of advertising is actually on for you from the age of 3.
Right.
Because when you communicate with your parents, when you communicate with your neighbors, when you communicate with your friends, that is advertising.
Yep.
See, advertising, the name has got so associated with commercial activity. But the act of communication, which is at the core of everything, you are born with it.
Yep.
And you learn it. If you keep your eyes and ears open,
Definitely.
you are actually learning a lot of advertising skills.
Yep.
Right from the beginning. That's how I learned, because I didn't know that it is a profession.
Yep.
I was just communicating around my own geography.
Yep.
So today you can learn it also. So to the youngsters is make a combination of both. Don't make it only a curriculum.
Uh-huh.
Life is a curriculum.
Yep.
Just make the best of life.
You gotta experience it and learn it.
Keep your eyes and ears open.
Amazing.
Life is a great teacher.
Right. How was your early days like when it comes to being in the Pandey family and growing, and what did you guys do that made you guys this creative? Because two brothers in the same field being this good at their work.
But more importantly, we've got 7 sisters
Yep.
who are more creative than us.
Amazing.
And they're all older to us. Right. And I'm the youngest. Right. And I look it, right?
Yeah, mentally, yes. And then he is not included. Our parents were very creative also.
Amazing.
So by the time I was born, it was like being born in an art school because somebody was learning sitar, somebody was learning, classical singing, somebody was learning dance, somebody was doing painting. Because my parents were very keen that every kid must have a hobby outside of curriculum. Okay. And they encouraged it. So by the time I came, ये सब चल रहा था. Everything was happening around me. So you need to be super dumb not to soak it in. So they were all my teachers at that point in time. And so you learn from there. And what is important for our audiences right now, which is the students and youngsters who want to come into advertising, that all those years are helping me today because I was observed.
Yeah.
And my biggest asset is I'm a good observer. Okay, so I learn from all those. I learn from, because finally you're going to talk to people. So if you haven't understood people, how will you talk to them?
Very true.
So every moment that I was, I used to enjoy watching construction happening outside.
Okay.
In those days, construction was not like construction in Bombay.
Right.
So it's just a couple of people digging in the sand and bringing in slabs. I used to enjoy watching it because everything is an idea, and there is so much to learn from them. The guys bringing in 6 slabs
Right.
of stone. In Rajasthan, you have ceilings with stone, not with RCC. So 6 slabs of stone, those are 12 feet long and 2 feet wide and 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
He's bringing it on a hand cart himself. And I'm watching it because I want to see, one guy is bringing it. How is he going to offload it? Okay?
Fair.
And I'm watching him. And then he comes there and it's a life's learning, because if I hadn't seen him, if you asked me to do this, I can take 2 months and I wouldn't crack it as to how a single guy. So he comes there and then he first tips over this thing, his cart. Then he goes looking for a big, large stone and he pushes that stone underneath. And then he keeps pulling his cart. And then finally, the stone slabs are left elevated like this.
Right.
And I couldn't understand, why did he leave it elevated? He could have just slipped it out.
Yeah.
So I ran down, and I was a kid, I was 14, 15 or something. And I asked him, why you left that thing?
Right.
And he was kind enough to explain. He said, if I leave it on the ground because there is sand, then the people, whoever comes to lift it and take it to the terrace, will not get a grip on it.
Very true.
So he's thought it through. I mean, he's not thought it through. It has possibly come down the edges.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a huge learning. So you have to be observant. Like I was saying inside, my phone is on silent mode from 1995. Okay, till date it is on silent mode, because when I'm in the car, I'm looking around, because that is where the idea is. Nothing that we do is original. There is nothing called original.
Right.
What is original is the connections that you make.
The parallel thinking.
Yeah, no, not just parallel. You saw something fantastic here, you saw something amazing there, and you thought if the two were happening together in the same space, that connection is original. Okay, but if you're not looking around, you never saw what was happening there, you never saw what was happening there. Okay, so be observant and admire life. It's one life. Like I was saying, next life you could be born as an ant, and so you won't get this elevated view of the world. So enjoy this life, enjoy how she put tea right now and how excited she is, and I am admiring her dedication in doing this,
In putting tea down.
putting the tea down, and so all that will come in handy someday when I have to create a character like that. Then I know कि यार उसमें एक उत्साह होना चाहिए, एक excitement होना चाहिए उससे आके, So just keep looking
I'm
around.
glad you brought up observation, because one thing I've noticed in both of your ads is you run by observational insights rather than analytical insights, right? Because a lot of marketeers run by analytical insights, or a lot of advertisers run by analytial insights. That's there, obviously.
They do B2B advertising. That's what I call boring to boring. If you observe, you get a variety of people doing things naturally.
Right.
When you try and calculate things too much, I think you take out the charm.
Very true.
And calculations are available to everybody.
Yeah.
You will find a lot of similarity.
Wow. Yes. Observation is very subjective
Observation is
and unique.
subjective. You find a mix of things.
Yep.
And it's beautiful. I mean, observing things is really an entertainment for you, for your heart and mind.
Very true. Very true. So problem with our generation. I mean, I'm from this generation, so I think
There's no
can-
problem with your generation. There's no problem.
So the mere fact that we are so driven by social media or the content that's around us and our attention span is dropping, etc., we stop looking around. You know, that thing that you guys were really good at doing, we are not, which I am not, right? Is there any way a person like me
Your attention
can get
span
better
is
at
an
observation?
excuse.
Right.
If I bring some hot actress in front of you, your attention span is going to be normal.
Right.
Your attention
He has observed me very well.
span के नाम से, if you are engaging,
Yeah.
your attention span will never be small.
Right.
If somebody is telling you a lovely story,
Yeah.
You're not going to give it up and say, नहीं मेरा attention span हो गया 7 seconds
That's
का.
true. Yeah.
You, if you engage people, then people will not have an attention span of 7 seconds a year.
Makes
How
sense.
do people see Disney movies?
Yep.
If
This
their
is two,
attention
two and a
span
half.
is,
Yep.
so make things nice so that you can engage people, and you'll find that this excuse of researchers saying these days, this generation, their attention span is small because
Right.
they're bloody boring. That's why their attention span is small.
Right. No, that's what I wanted to ask. Like for a young creative to create ads or to create any form of content, I'm not restricting this to ads. That captures a person's attention. They need to be observational. How
No,
do they?
don't make a formula out of it. I'm
Okay.
saying if you say I will be observant, my feeling is you will not be that observant. What you need to do is enjoy everything.
Right.
If you enjoy it, you will end up observing. If you say today I will observe from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, it's not going to work.
Right.
Because it becomes an exercise. If you admire, respect how people are, and appreciate, kya life hai yaar, kya, I tell you what, things that stay in your head. I was still in college and I was on a mobike and I saw one guy in Jaipur. Jaipur, is in summer it's rather hot. And so this guy, he is going on a donkey, and the donkey has got that open sack with sand in it, and they must be excavating somewhere or something like that.
Right.
He's sitting on it, smoking a bidi, but because it's only a donkey, it's not a horse.
Right.
So he's relaxed and he's sitting like this. And then he's got a bidi in his mouth and he's moving like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying, wow, this is Jaipur's equivalent of Clint Eastwood. Just look at his attitude. Okay. If I hadn't seen that, I would have missed it.
Very
You
true.
get my point?
Yeah.
So you have to admire the things that you see, then they'll stay in your head. Otherwise, you'll observe it, they won't stay in your head.
Amazing. Sir, another thing that I wanted to ask you guys about is how simple both of your ads are. Very simple ideas that are constructed into beautiful ads, right? But at the same time, simple ideas could also be spoon feeding sometimes because when a young
They're not
creative,
simple.
they're not simple.
You
right?
simply said that the guy who's listening to you is an idiot. That's why you're spoon feeding.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't want to be spoon fed.
Right.
He wants to hear nice stories.
Okay.
Like, Prasoon always says that when you're making a film,
Right.
and all good filmmakers do that there is a fill in the blank.
Okay.
That's where you're not spoon feeding because you're saying that they're smart enough. And he loves the thought that you kept that much of gap which he or she can fill in
fill it,
and
yep.
feel good about it. That's
Yeah.
what makes it engaging. So, simple is not simplistic. Simple is easy to enjoy.
Okay.
Simplistic
Wow.
is treating him like an idiot so that you have to say, दांत 3 तरह से साफ करने चाहिए यूं वरना वो कान में थोड़ी करता था पहले.
Right. I want everybody to write that down. Simple is not simplistic. It's just easy to enjoy. That's such a nice quote. Sir, that's again one thing that I've written: simplicity with a twist. You guys always have an ad where it is simple, but there's a twist in the end. Modern day ads sort of tend to miss it. Why do you think that's happening?
You are so small that they miss it. You're trying to make it in 7 seconds.
There was a twist, it never got included in the edit.
Researcher ne. So, I think a twist in the end is nothing new.
Right.
When you did some murder movies,
Right.
तो twist ही था ना कि you were looking
Obviously.
right through कि यार ये है, ये murderer है, ये है, वो है.
Yep.
And then suddenly you say, अरे यार the butler did it.
And it's there in life, for people who play, say, cards on Deepavali.
Yeah.
Okay. So when somebody asks you for a show,
Okay.
they've put their money down.
Yep.
By its rules, you should show all your 3 cards.
Okay.
But that's no fun.
Yeah.
Okay. What people like doing is, you ask me for a show, I say, okay, check this out, and you reveal
What
one
is it
card.
like? Yeah.
Okay, and so this guy thinking, wow, he's got a ace of hearts. Okay, and then he wants to know more. And you say, and you see Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
And he was wondering, oh shit.
The royal
you know,
flush, yeah.
Yeah. And then he pulls out, it's only a two of spade. Okay. So that is what becomes enjoyable because there is something else, the end has something else. That's why it became enjoyable.
Like humor, the jokes.
Right.
All of us enjoy jokes
Yep.
because it's building something. ये कहाँ ले जाएगा?
Very true.
And you reveal at the end.
Yep.
So it's that's the way it is.
Amazing. Sir, one of the reason, I'm glad you brought up humor. One of the things that our jury member, Razazul Haq sir, quite recently wrote in his LinkedIn was a lot of brands are trying to be funny these days. They are hiring comedians as their writers. Do you think there's going to be a point where every brand is funny and there is no, it will be very monotonous?
The first rule of humor is that you better be funny.
Okay.
So you're trying to be funny, but if you're not funny, then it falls flat on its face. Then you can bring any actor you want.
Right.
Nothing will happen.
But will it be monotonous? After a while, every ad is just funny. There's no other emotion
not
that's
funny.
being sold.
It
I
will
don't-
not be monotonous if the joke was good.
I think advertising's job is not necessarily to be funny,
Okay.
but to be endearing.
Right.
Okay. And humor can be endearing. Okay. But humor can go wrong also. So you have to be careful when you select
Pick and
that.
choose.
But this is true that because by very nature advertising is a short format.
Yeah.
Okay. So in shorter format, it is a little more natural space for humor
Right.
than to do a sensitive story. Okay, because sensitive stories need a little space, and that's why jokes are only as long as they are.
Right.
But emotional stories are. But that's nothing is a rule. Don't treat anything as a rule. You can have a very short thing which is very emotional,
Very
very
touching.
evocative.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't treat anything as a rule. But by and large, yes, it's a little easier to do
Yeah.
humor in a short
Easier
space.
to want to do.
Okay.
It's not easier to do humor. Humor is very difficult.
Yeah, definitely. That's well, that is my
That's
follow-up.
why I said
actually.
the first rule of humor is you better be funny. So मैंने humor कर दिया साला. Somebody said, yeah, what the hell was that?
Then
It's
hit.
not humor.
Yep.
The toughest part, actually, humor, I find delivering humor more difficult than delivering a sentimental story because there is another thing, unfortunately or fortunately, around us, which is somehow if I narrate a joke to you
Yep.
and you do not laugh,
Yep.
it somehow becomes a reflection on my poor
Ability.
ability at humor.
Yes.
But if I narrate a really sensitive story and you do not cry,
That's
it
my
somehow
truth.
becomes a reflection
That's
on
my
your
truth. Yes.
insensitivity. I do not know why, but that's the way it is. That's why you need to be very careful when you're dealing with humor because within humor there are zillions of ways you can do poker face delivery. You have to find the right sur for that story. Okay? And that is where all filmmakers spend most of their time. So how do I want to deliver it?
Yeah.
Okay. With what tone of voice should I deliver it?
And where does that insight or that feeling come from, both in terms of creative as well as in terms of directional point of view?
It's the same thing, no?
Well,
End of the day, people don't see scripts.
Okay.
They see a final film.
Right.
And the final film has ingredients.
Right.
The ingredients is in your storyline, ingredients are in your performance,
Yeah.
ingredients are in your timing, ingredients are in your
Very true.
music.
Yep.
So I think वो combine है. So if I write a script and I think it's funny, then I go to a director and
Yep.
say, "Yaar, how do you like this?" And they say, "Yeah, this is very funny. I want to make it." So that's how it evolves. At the end of the day, your audience is not given one thali. अभी इतनी सी चटनी ये, उतनी सी चटनी ये, ये बड़ा.
Right.
They are given one dish. ये लो.
Very true.
It better have the best of everything.
And how do you get that insight from? Like, is
That
it
is
built
more
using
intuition.
experience or intuition?
Yeah, that is more intuition.
Bloody good.
I mean, obviously, clearly.
That is more intuition. You learn as you go along. You'll make some mistakes.
Yeah, if you found something very funny,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? You want to first share it with your friend, with your family, or yeah, have you heard this one?
Right.
That's how it starts with us also.
Right. So glad you brought that up. I want to know how you guys work together. I can't work with my
He
brother.
beats me up.
See, that is exactly. My brother is younger and he beats me up. So how does working together with a family member like? And I want to hear both of your point of view on that.
No, it's a joy. It's because he's treated me more like a friend from the time that we were growing up. So it's I forget we are brothers or anything. We are just two creative people sorting it out.
And you build a kind of a anticipation of each other.
Okay.
So it's easier
Right.
because you know each other very well.
Yep.
They when to beat up your brother and when not to beat up your brother.
Fair point. And when to get beaten up and when not to get beaten up. Yeah. Because I believe there's one ad, I'm not mistaken, the Fevikwik ad where the zeros and ones, I believe.
That is
MC.
M-Seal, yes, sorry, M-Seal ad, where zeros and ones. Do you know when to go to him with a script when you know, like, okay, I think Prasoon can help me out here? Or when do you know when you can go to him? I think Piyush can do. Or do you guys share all of it?
No, there are certain things that you know about people that you work with. I will know what's the kind of stuff that he likes doing and doesn't like doing.
Right.
I know the kind of stuff that Nirvana, Verma and
Yep.
Sneha do.
Yep.
I know that this is what they will enjoy doing.
Makes
So when they enjoy doing it, they're bound to give you something first class.
Very true.
Like if you look at say the boy and dog for Hutch.
Yep, Hutch ad, yep.
That's very Burma. You will be stupid to go to somebody else.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
and you get to know that people who give you the best are people who you ask to help you on something that they are looking for.
Yep. That's true. Sir, both of you guys have decades of experience in advertising industry, even though both of you look very young.
I love you too.
Yeah. So, how welcoming is the advertising industry for youngsters? And based on this answer, I'll send you my CVs.
I think very welcoming. Actually, it needs advertising needs good creative minds.
Okay.
Creative minds today have a lot, many more options available to them.
Okay.
And that is where advertising, I feel, is losing out on great creative minds, because when you see some stuff on social media, some clips and all that,
Yep.
I'm saying, wow, what an idea. Why is this guy not writing for some agency? Because
Right.
that's really clever writing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a pity that we are not being able to attract that talent. That's from our point of view. From their point of view, it's a joy that there is so many options for them to express their
Definitely,
creativity.
definitely.
Okay. But yeah, advertising can always do with a lot of youngsters coming in with varied experience. What we need is people. We don't want to be inbreeding.
Yeah.
We want varied experience. Somebody
Different
coming,
ideas,
yeah,
different
somebody coming from
perspectives.
Assam, somebody coming. They'll bring some new stories. Some new way of looking at life.
Sir, you would take that?
I was saying that lots of people say the golden era of advertising, 90s to 2010 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think the connect to what you're asking is when there is stuff that people enjoy doing, then enjoyable people
Will always.
you will attract.
Yeah.
If you're doing stuff which can be compared by the youngsters to this, that, doing content, doing this, doing reels and things,
Right.
then you lose out.
Makes sense.
And advertising has to do something to attract more youngsters
Yeah.
who find this to be a field in which they can express themselves.
Right.
Yes, that is essential.
Sir, Goodly Adfest, the whole theme of Goodly Adfest is this, what the question that I just asked and the answers that you guys gave. My question is to Piyush sir. Why did you agree to lend your name for Goodly Adfest and why did you want to be part of this?
I definitely believe in, and this is not new to me,
Right.
I definitely believe in sharing things with young people. Whatever I learned as a youngster, to share with people, to excite them, to motivate them,
Yep.
to do free thinking on their own.
Right.
I seldom say no to educational institutes,
Yeah.
only because what you can share with them and how much their questions inspire you for you to start thinking.
It's
It's a complete
a symbiotic relationship. Yeah,
symbiotic relationship.
makes
So,
sense.
and when I heard, we have heard in somebody has a germ of an idea. I think that's become very boring. Somebody says Guthli.
Yeah. Guthli of an
I
idea.
already created Mamla.
Amazing, amazing. Uh, sir, one of the core concepts of Goodly again is start young. One of the core concepts of Miles SOBA is start young. How important do you think, an advertising industry is always young at heart, right? How important do you think it is to start young in this industry?
You just said it yourself, young at heart.
Right.
It is not about your age.
Just
David Ogilvy,
right.
the founder of the company that I have worked with all my life,
Yep.
started at 38.
Yep.
I started a little later than normally other people do because of 3 years I was doing tea tasting.
Yes.
He's young at heart and not the age.
Right.
Anybody can join at 18. I know a number of people who are creative directors who started at 18
Wow.
in abroad.
Okay.
Because here people won't give you a job at 18 unless your father is owner.
Yes.
So, so there is no age.
Right.
I mean, if you are excited and you automatically become young at heart, or you are young at heart, then this field is open for you.
Amazing. And what's your both secret to being young at heart?
Wow, we never analyzed it.
Right.
I think you just have to enjoy everything. If you enjoy everything, I guess maybe that is what people say is being young at heart. Okay, we enjoy everything. We play pranks. We still play pranks, but not because it's a young thing to do, but because we enjoy playing pranks. You know, at every shoot we are playing pranks. You know,
And because you are not conditioned
Okay.
that, yeah, if you're 30 years old, then you must behave like this.
That's very true.
Young at heart is
Society
when you
expects us
say,
to
I don't
do
give
that.
a damn.
Yep.
I enjoy something like he's saying that we are at a shoot, we are playing pranks. Because we are not scared of playing pranks. So that is young at heart.
There's no
When you
judgment.
are conditioned, that's when you say, यार ये करूँगा तो वो क्या सोचेगा? If I do this, what will that guy think? That's when you're not young at heart.
Yeah.
Young at heart are not conditioned. They break bulbs of the neighbors, which I did.
क्रिकेट बॉल से
नहीं, पत्थर से भी
पत्थर से भी अच्छा
So, young at heart is because you're not scared.
right
But be young at heart without harming somebody. Bulbs and all are small things that you can do.
yep
So,
kids are running breaking bulbs from today
these people are also smart. They've got CCTV cameras. But basically, when you're not conditioned,
yep
when you're free thinking, that is young at heart.
amazing
and I think for your for the youngsters,
yeah
while we are saying yes, we want you in advertising, I think you need to be asking yourself a question.
okay
Do I really enjoy it? Don't come to advertising because of what all stories we are narrating कि यार वो होगा तो बड़ा मजा आएगा.
yeah
That is not good enough a reason. And I think I learned from my mother, because I was once asking my mother about 15 years back, I called her up and I said, how did you have the guts to send me, to allow me to go to a design school when I went to a design school in 1980.
Right.
Okay. So in 1980, in a small town like Jaipur, nobody knew what is a term design, what is the future of this thing. So I asked her and she said, no, I had no clue. But I knew that you were doing this. I actually did not know design can be taught. I was designing logos and stuff like that. I thought I'm a designer. I didn't know I have to now learn. Okay.
Right.
So anyway, so the learning from her was, she said, when you came and told me that you want to go to a design school, I saw the spark in your eye, and I thought, whatever he becomes after that, I have no clue what he'll become. He'll be happy doing that, and that is 95% of your earning anyway.
Amazing.
Okay, because whatever you're earning in order to be happy.
yep
Okay, the rest 5% will ensure you have a roof, and so you have to find out what is it that you would actually be willing to pay money to do?
Yeah.
I am actually sure that I would have given money to be allowed to make films.
Right.
And don't tell my clients this, okay? But
I think they're watching this.
you have to ask yourself, because otherwise we are giving you the fun side of advertising.
Yeah.
It can be, there is a lot of drudgery in it because we work very long hours.
Yeah.
But when we work those long hours, we are enjoying it.
It doesn't
So if
feel
you
like
do
long
not
hours.
enjoy it, ना, you'll say, अरे यार मैं 4 दिन से मैं सोया नहीं हूँ, मैं पागल हो जाऊँगा. हम लोग 4 दिन से नहीं सोया, हमको उसमें मजा आ रहा है यार, क्या मजा आया था यार, ठीक है?
Brief rag होगा.
So you have to find out where your heart is. Whatever you do, this is not the only creative field.
Yeah.
Every field is a creative field. Even aeronautics is a great creative field. So you have to find where is my heart. What would I be willing to pay money to do? That is the job that you should go and do.
Right, makes sense, sir. Sir, also advertising is a field of problem solvers. Along with creatives, we are solving a problem, right? Both of you have solved multiple problems for multiple brands. When you are, when a problem is given to you, what is your creative process like to solve that problem?
Think like the audience.
Okay.
Number one, I can take care of that. What will I say to you
Okay.
so that you listen to me and probably change your mind? It's up to probability. It is not that I will do something and he will say, okay, let's run to the market and buy.
Yep.
So I'm saying, what is it that I should say to normal people which will interest me, him or her, to take the next step?
Makes sense. And the same applies to you as well.
Yeah, it's, it's not such complicated problem solving. The problem for communicators is, so how would she listen to me?
Yep.
Our solutions are at the receiving end.
Yep.
Not what
Not
we
the
want to
giving,
say,
yep.
but how should I say it so that she receives it? So it's that end. So you just have to figure it out. Ki if I say it like this, she'll shut me out.
Makes sense.
Okay. If I say it like this, she'll think I'm being too cocky.
Right.
Okay. If I say it like this, she might say, interesting. I want to have a look at it.
Makes
Okay.
Precisely the thing that you said earlier, that what do? You just say you start from the person who you want to speak to. You can't say, my research has told me, my researchers in R&D have
Right.
done 34 things. Congratulations,
Right.
and I can see only one.
That's true.
Those who try and say too many things make advertising boring the way you said.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Before we wind off, I want, because a lot of youngsters are listening to this, I want one piece of advice that you have learned, one piece of lesson that you've learned from a mistake that you made in decades of career that you have in advertising. Similarly, sir, from you as well. So let's start with Piyush, sir.
I think basically don't have a fear.
No fear at all.
No fear.
Should go beyond fear.
Go beyond fear. I'm not asking you to jump off a cliff. It's only advertising, nobody dies.
Yep.
So, if you have an idea, share it with somebody. Because otherwise you come into the world of insecurity.
Yep.
If you have fear, you are insecure. If you
Yep.
are insecure, you don't share. If you don't share, it doesn't reach.
Yep. And ideas are not original if you don't execute it, because somebody else will get that idea eventually.
And
Amazing. And you, sir?
I think question everything.
Okay.
Don't take anything given to you because that can be limiting. You have to allow yourself to fly. So when you are in advertising, somebody will tell you, no, in the brand print it says, I'll give you an example from my writing days.
Yeah.
That on Ponds somebody said, no, that mother, no, her hair has to be in perfect this thing and she has to be in a sari when she's giving a bath
Yeah.
to the baby. I said, who says that? They said, no, it's in the brand print.
Yeah.
I said, show me the brand print. Because a mother who's giving a bath to a kid would, by logic, be in her nightgown because she doesn't want that water to be splashed onto herself.
Messy hair
Yeah,
after a
she's
long
not
work,
receiving some guest in the evening.
Yep.
So when you start questioning, then you realize he'll go to his brand manager, that idiot, he's wanting to see the brand book. Then they look for the brand book. There is nothing written like that. It is just because somebody used it, the next guy didn't want to use his brain.
Yep.
So he said that is a format.
Yep.
Okay. And the format becomes limiting.
Right.
Okay. So you have to open out the opportunity. You know, there is a fantastic designer called Bob Gill, okay, from UK. And he wrote a book about, forget all rules about design.
Okay.
That it says, the title is going here on the book, forget all rules that you've ever learned about design, including the ones that are written in this book. Okay, so the title goes on the other side.
Right.
And there he explains, the problem is that human brain is very prone to conditioning.
Okay.
So if a client tells me, यार मेरी फिल्म में ना रेड सोफा एक लगा देना. Now, red sofa has become a constant. Inadvertently, it has become a constant. Either I'm fighting against the red sofa, I'm saying, no, I won't put a red sofa, I'll put a yellow sofa.
Yeah.
Okay? Or I'm giving into it.
Yep.
The sofa word, my mind has got conditioned. It never occurred to me, why can't it be a stool? Okay? So,
Makes sense.
So what he says is, when somebody says, this is the example that is written in the book, when somebody says that design a really path-breaking chair for me, he said for months I could not design the chair because nothing was path-breaking. Because the chair word is conditioned my mind, whichever way I'm looking at it, I'm either giving it
Basically,
3 legs or 4 legs.
You take the chair breaking path.
Okay.
So whichever way you look at it, either I'm thinking of 4 legs or 3 legs or 1 leg and 1 armrest. I'm still controlled by the word chair. So he said, one day I was sitting and thinking, and I said, no, what he wants something path-breaking to sit on. And suddenly when you open that question, it could be suspended from air, it could be jet-propelled, that every time you come to office, it rises up and holds your butt. Okay? It could be anything. So question whatever is given to you, otherwise your solutions will get limited.
Amazing. So guys, I want all this to be the major takeaway from I don't know how many minutes of conversation it has been so far. Go beyond fear and always question everything. Thank you so much, both of you, for
Pleasure being with you.
giving your time. Thank you so much, sir.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you. If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this episode with a fellow creative. Stay tuned for more insights, more inspiration, and more behind-the-scenes magic in the world of branding and advertising. And always remember, every journey starts with a Guthli.